Right, next up is the Marauders, those space orcs from Gora.
But spelled with an X.
Yeah, of course, the only way to do it. So the Marauders, they've been a pretty stock faction for Deadzone since version 1 because they're just pretty steady, aren't they? They're pretty
fantastic, probably.
They're really good fighters. And they haven't got the widest range of stuff, but what they've got is all very, very powerful. In fact, maybe even a bit too powerful in previous versions. So they have had a little bit of a nerf. I think we should be honest about that.
I wouldn't say they've had a nerf, I'd say one troop has had a nerf.
One troop and one leader had a bit of a nerf. But they've gained as well, so don't be too disheartened if you're a Marauder player. So they have 3 choices of leaders still, the same ones they had before. So the Warlord.
Who's now back in stock.
Who's now back in stock, he's available. Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's a great little model, or great big model.
It's not little, yeah. It's like an ogre.
And then the Commando Captain, who used to be pretty much your go-to. He was Tactician 2 and a Recon 3. Cheap as chips, but incredibly powerful with an amazing splat that allowed you to steal your opponent's commandos. Now, most of that has stayed the same, but he's become a bit more expensive in both points and victory points. He's now 28 points and 3 victory points. And his Recon is 4+, so that's gone down a little bit, got a little bit worse I should say. His splat is exactly the same, and he's gained an ability. He's gained something called Combat Team Training. So Combat Team Training allows you to re-roll your commandos even if you've lost half of your faction or more. So, as you may know, if you get more than half your models off the board, you are stuck with the dice that you roll each round for command. But, you know, might not be a huge thing, and you might say, oh, he's become more expensive, oh, he's
still going to be the go-to.
He's still a very, very good model. But it wasn't so much that he was a problem as such, but it was the combination of a very good recon, a fantastic splat, and the fact that you would almost always see him running with the specialist of choice, which would be the Rainmakers, which we'll come on to in a bit. And that combination used to be a sort of a round 1 badness. So these sort of changes should make the Marauders a little bit less spammy, to be honest. You still have a Commando Sergeant as an option as well as another leader. And then most of the Marauder lists have stayed much the same. But they have gained a troop and a specialist. So you thought you were losing out, didn't you, Marauder players? But no. Oh no, you are gaining.
I really like the gains because I get to use my old models.
Yes, old models. Now I know some of you are going to say old models. Oh dear, why they bring back old models? We bring back old models because they're still there and they're still good, and it gives us another option that we could use. And if, to be honest, if it wasn't for using old models, we wouldn't be able to put them in because there'd be no model. So you have to. Generally, you can get them on, don't you?
I think they look good. They make your commandos look really cool.
They have a charm. So the models we're talking about is the old Warpath Marauders, and they are being used in this list as a Goran Auxiliary, which is a troop choice now. So Goran Auxiliaries, Gora is the planet where the Marauders come from, so the fact that they're auxiliaries implies that they're less well trained than their normal commando brethren, and they're another interesting choice because one of the problems for Marauders was that everyone was fairly expensive. The commando was 12 points, so people used to spam the Morbeast to get cheap troops in to get all the fantastic specialists. But now there's another troop option, and this Goran is only 10 points. Now, he doesn't shoot very well, but he's still quite good in combat. He comes with a Hrunker, which is a new close combat weapon, and he comes with a heavy pistol as well. So he can fight quite well, and he can shoot okay-ish because heavy pistol has rate of fire. And at 10 points and 1 VP, he's another great option again to allow you to grab objectives or just to get in the mix and fight. So for specialists, the Marauders have also got fantastic choices, always have done in fact, but they've got a new one as well. So they've got the Goran Saboteur now. So this is another Goran, okay, so a sort of a more untrained model, and the idea of these is that they sort of sneak through the woodlands and swamps of their home planet. So what's cool about these?
These are the ones with Hrunkers.
Yeah, I said Hrunkers before. They haven't got Hrunkers, the auxiliaries.
These are very good because they've got Frenzy, and they also have Scout, so they can get up 2 cubes first turn, and then they can stab people in the neck.
The other really interesting thing that Ross hasn't mentioned they have is that they have a stun grenade, a one-use stun grenade. So stun grenades, you might not have used them very often, they're amazing because if you can lob them onto a cube with some good models that you don't want to face, such as Deadzone for instance, or snipers or something like that,
Strikers,
it activates them already for that round. So therefore they won't be able to do anything for the whole round, which, you know, depending on where they're placed, might leave them very vulnerable, allow you to sort of get up there, or just allow some of your models to stay alive. Yeah.
Or prevent them from running onto objectives, etc.
Now it's only one use, of course, but you've got Scout, so you're already 2 cubes up the map anyway. So you get that, as long as you get a move dice or shoot dice, then you're probably hitting people on round 1. Now, of course, you've left your Goron Saboteur incredibly exposed, probably, but depending on what you're aiming for, it might be a very interesting way of playing, and a very different way of playing for you Marauders.
They're not that expensive. There's 17.2 VPs if you can take out 2 or 3 models.
Yeah, you're not doing damage, you're not taking them out, but you're taking them out
of that round.
Yeah. And if those are really important models, like snipers or whatever, Deadzone, then, or mortars, you know, models that you don't want hitting you from round 1, that could be really, really powerful, I think. There's been a few changes and a few stat profiles for the Marauders. So some of the key ones are that the Mauler has gone up a little bit in points, and the Rainmaker has gone up in points, and the Rainmaker also has gained heavy to his Hugh Beamer. So,
because it needed it.
It did need it, yeah. So the problem we had when we come back to the Commando Captain was not that any of these models are individually bad or overpowered or anything like that necessarily. It's that the combination of taking an almost certain recon win on 3+, stealing your splats to almost certainly get a shoot dice, and having
your
cheap
opponent from it as well.
and having cheap Rainmakers who can do a missile salvo on round 1 into your deployment zone. That combination was pretty nasty and really did sort of make them a sort of a faction you didn't really want to play because you didn't get to do anything much yourself. You know, you're half wiped off in round 1. So the fact that they have changed a bit reflects how people have been playing with them, but they're still an incredibly strong model each, and the faction as a whole is still really, really good as well. So no other major changes, slight points change for the Hulk. The stunt bot, if you can get one, unfortunately, because
he's such a good model as well.
Yeah, he has changed a little bit in that he is better in combat now. He's got a better fight stats and has more frenzy. And the Skyscraper as well has come down in points because essentially for a commando with a jump pack he was a little bit overpriced perhaps. So again, hopefully we'll see those hitting the table a little bit more often.
Especially the stun bot you can now get up to frenzy too.
Yeah, absolutely, if you take the right combination of weapons. So, you know, I think that's enough for the Marauders. They've probably suffered more than the others. Is that your impression of Marauder? Yeah. They've probably suffered a little bit in that they've been brought back into line. They were overpowered and brought back down.
They were the #1 faction.
Yeah.
There was no arguing.
Yeah. But they are still an incredibly good faction, and they've gained as well. So they've gained some new models.
But they're more dynamic now. They've got more choices. It's not only the same.
They're not just a one. It's not just bring a captain, Rainmaker you the hell out of you, and run you over with more beasts. There's more options on the table now. They're much less linear.
I think we're going to see more warlords with Gorons.
Yeah.
Frenzy 4 on some cheap troops.
Yeah, suddenly that's going to be a real option for you. And obviously you can add Harunkers to people and stuff like that as well. The new close combat weapon that gives you frenzy 1 anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Marauders are still a very much go-to, very strong faction. Great, thanks very much. Bye.